Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/surviving infidelity, where OP's cheating wife is now terrified that he has a lawyer. Let's begin. My wife was acting like a different person and not communicating. Posted by Reddit user The Poetry of Reality.
Hey team, this post has been a long time coming. Been reading this subreddit for the few months and I feel it's time for me to share my story. I need to apologize in advance if this comes across as a rant. It's not meant to be. I've been married to my wife for 12 years and together 18 years. We live in the suburbs in a house we are renovating. We both have good jobs and are involved in our community at a volunteer level. No kids, but we have a cat. However, earlier in the year we were trying for a baby, which is going to make what follows even more strange. Just like all other marriages, we've had our ups and downs. We don't usually argue. In 18 years I can recall 5 or 6 arguments. The last 2 to 3 years I felt have been the best of our 18. However, that's just my opinion. Doing more things together, communicating better, great sex in the bedroom, etc. I clearly took my eyes off the ball because 3 months ago she suddenly told me wanted space, but doesn't go into more details as far as what she means. Over the following weeks her behavior starts to change, slowly. At first, I ignore it, but I'm just in denial. She no longer uses terms of endearments but calls me by my name. This is super weird. I notice she starts drinking more alcohol. She came home one night and was sick. I wasn't at home but found evidence of this later. This is unprecedented in 18 years. When she sent a message or email, she would always end it with an XOX. This stops too. Slowly stops being involved in anything I do, but without communicating it. Spends more time on her phone and more protective of it. I don't know her PIN, so it doesn't matter. I know this is a big red flag on this subreddit. She would go crazy when I did this. Now she's on it all the time. I also believe she has hidden her screen from me when sitting together side by side on a few occasions. Our physical interactions, hugs and kisses, go down to a minimum, like a tap slowly being turned off. In the end she would kiss me on the cheek. That's when I knew something was really wrong. Started going big on makeup and face grooming routine. I think this was prompted by a female friend. However, the timing is interesting. The biggest issue is she never communicated properly to me that something was wrong, so it just deteriorated to the point that after 2 months of the above, I had to beg her to tell me what was going on. She tells me that we are growing apart and that we have different life goals, which I still disagree with to this day. Says it's been 3.5 years coming. She tried to stay positive. Then says she is nearly 40 and wanted to have kids years ago. See above note about trying for kids months earlier. This makes no sense. We haven't even tried properly. It's not going to happen overnight. The other issue is that I'm training for a law enforcement job. I don't think she likes the idea of being the wife of someone who could be hurt in the line of duty. I basically told her that I'm willing to give it up if that's a deal breaker. Essentially, those 2 issues could be resolved immediately. She then asks me for space, 2 weeks of separation, as it would be good for her. I decided to move out, and that's the last time I slept in my own bed. That was 38 days ago. Now here comes a major key point. She cheated on me 14 years ago before we were engaged. Nobody knows this except us and the other party. I decided to forgive, but not forget. I have never raised it again and was willing to take it to my grave.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
After 5 weeks of separation, I moved back home but to the guest bedroom. I'm typing this from here. We have another chat. I basically told her that if there is someone else, I understand, and that she wanted a divorce, then I also understand. Doesn't mean I agree with it. She tells me there is no one else, and straight up says she does not want a divorce. Still loves me. Then goes on to say we married too young. She basically wanted to be married from day one. I feel she's trying to rewrite history here, and that she feels that she missed out on things and experiences when she was young and doesn't want to be accountable to anyone. How exactly does that work in the real world? I feel the last 2 items are massive red flags. In summary, she states that she sacrificed her dreams for what we have but doesn't go into details. Honestly, the whole thing makes no sense without clear communication from her. Throughout this ordeal, we have not had a single fight. I've staying calm, clear in my communication, and if she did something that was odd or negative, for example, come home from work 4 hours late without communication, which has now become a common thing, I would make dinner and save it for her. No questions or complaints from me. I also explained that I'm willing to step up and be a better husband, although it's hard to know what else I can do when you're already giving it 120% when no one is asking you to and when no one is watching. I've probably been too nice, but it's hard to know how to maneuver when you don't have all the facts in front of you. Being at home is like walking on eggshells. Imagine living with a roommate or flatmate who doesn't talk to you, doesn't ask how you are, nothing. Actively avoids you. It is unbelievable that things are at this point, but here we are. Lastly, the other week I found a card in her handbag. I know I breached her privacy, however I don't have many other options. It's another piece of this crazy jigsaw puzzle. The card was unsigned and undated, which is interesting in itself. I believe it came from a female co-worker, but what bothers me is that they seem to have more information at hand than I have. I don't remember the exact words, however it said, "I know you've been down lately as you are mourning your future life. Don't blame yourself. Don't put sadly all the blame on your shoulders. You are worth loving." There are other things I could say, but I'll stop here. I would be interested in your thoughts on the above. I don't want it to be over, but if it is, then there is nothing I can do about it. I love my wife and I would jump into a fire for her, however I don't think she cares anymore. Her actions speak volumes. Do you think there could be someone else? I don't understand how someone could change that quickly when they are your soulmates. Her rapid change in behavior is hard to believe. Despite all of the above, I'm still smiling. I have a roof over my head, a job, fit and healthy, training for a marathon at the moment. It could be worse. I just want the truth. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Update. Thanks so much for the replies. I really appreciate it. I will reply to everyone individually. Update 2. Big update. I have received the following message from her, which may be the key to what has been going on. Hi OP. Strange thing happened the other day. My pen pal said he was heading overseas for a holiday and was going to this location. I flippantly said the location was a nice place to visit. Then got a screenshot showing he booked a flight. He's coming to this location but traveling around. I would quite like to catch up with him, as who knows if paths will cross again. Hope you don't mind. It could explain her phone behaviors. This person lives on the other side of the world but is taking a 7,000-mile detour for this. He's been her pen pal since before we met, however the timing is incredible. Long-distance emotional affair. Is that a thing? And now for OP's first update. Hi team, I just would like to say a big thank you to those who took the time to respond to my original post. Although I didn't reply to all of you, I greatly value all your comments. I have a major update. About the time I posted on Reddit, she told me she would be traveling to a city over the weekend. No other details given. The day she was leaving I asked for more details and the weekend suddenly became a whole week. No other details given. She took an Uber to the airport. Found out from our home CCTV before I got home. She knew from my schedule and that I wouldn't be home, so no questions would be asked. I don't want to say where she went, but it's the equivalent of traveling to Aspen if you are in the USA, say from Kansas City. Basically, you go there to have a good time in the snow. Tonight, it was confirmed to me that she's with her pen pal friend. I also have some evidence that he's been in our city for a number of weeks. This explains her late nights and not needing dinner. This gun just won't stop smoking. This appears to be an international affair, months in the making. This is betrayal to a whole new level, and I can't see how she thinks she will walk away from this smelling like roses, or she doesn't care. I do not believe she knows that I know, but I have figured it all out. Anyway, it is what it is. I've already got it out of my system. I'm not sad or angry. I'm actually looking forward to the future, with our challenges, but always with a positive mindset. And now for OP's second update. Hi team. Just updating everyone on my situation. This is likely going to be my last update. She came home from her time away with the affair partner, came in the door and gave me half a hug. I was on the phone and doing some tidying up in the kitchen. After the phone call ended, she began speaking with me, but I didn't react to her words and just listened. She says, "Why are you angry at me?" I wasn't angry, but it's interesting she's trying to project this on me. Any other husband would have lost their shit a long time ago. I've done the opposite. I've stayed calm and collected. I told her I knew what had been going on and this was her chance to come clean. She denied everything, said they are staying in separate rooms. Her workmates told her that it would be good for her to go away. I bet they didn't know with whom. She told me she hasn't taken her wedding ring off, as evidence that she hasn't cheated. The whole explanation was just silly. She then comes and tells me that I have nothing to worry about and she still loves me. I can sense fear and desperation in her voice. Anyway, the following day the goalposts shift again. She walks in the rooms and says that she doesn't understand why I'm upset since we have separated. Essentially, she's now saying that because we were separated, what she did wasn't cheating. She didn't use these words, but it's what she meant. I confronted her on the timeline of the events and she goes on to admit that the affair partner has been in town for 3 weeks. While she was at work, I found evidence of where they stayed and restaurants they visited, all top-end locations. I also found his toothbrush in her bag. Why would she have it in her bag if they are staying in separate rooms? And why even keep it? This was confirmed by some photos she sent me while she was away. She sent a photo from one location, pretending she was in another. I have taken photos of all the evidence such as receipts and others, in case they are needed in the future. I also have all the business cards of the venues they visited. She has since told me that she's sorry about the situation, blames herself, although she refused to give me the affair details. She also told me she didn't want kids and was worried when I spoke about having kids earlier this year. This is more goalpost shifting from her. It doesn't add up. At the end of the day, I believe she fears that people will find out the reason why the marriage is over, and is going into damage control in order to protect her reputation. I believe she planned on me walking out and then telling people that I had left her. Clearly her game plan backfired. I'm not going anywhere. Anyway, it's over. She's been spending the entire weekend with him. I know they had dinner again last night as I intercepted a message from him regarding what to bring over for their dinner recipe. I took my wedding ring off yesterday for the last time. It's going to take some time for D-Day to come, as we share property 50-50. We are now just roommates. Other than that, I'm gone and moving on. And thank you again everyone for your advice. I'll be hanging around long-term under my non-anonymous Reddit account. Hopefully I can help out other people who are in the same boat. And then, Opus added more details in the comments section. Sorry OP, but you are doing the best you can with a lying cheater. Does she know or understand it is over? Have you contacted an attorney yet? You are right, she will spin this to make it your fault, so best to get the correct story out there first. Secure your financials. Clean up the mess she has left. Heal yourself. Then when you're ready, start the search for a good loyal woman. They are out there. Take care. Yes, a lawyer has been contacted. And I do hope you are exposing her to everyone. Because if you do not, she will tell them why you divorced, and you can be sure she will not mention her cheating. So tell everyone why you divorced her, her family, your family, all friends, especially mutual friends. I would tell all the important people in your life now, before she has a chance to tell lies to make you look like the bad guy while she's the innocent victim. People will eventually know the truth, but she will muddy the water as much as she can, and it will affect your other relationships when people don't know who to support.
OP, I agree with the other comments. While I think it's great that you've already contacted a lawyer, I just can't seem to understand why you refuse to tell everyone now while you still have the advantage. I can't understand why you married her in the first place, knowing full well that she is a cheater. You could have avoided this entire mess and not wasted years of your life. You could have dodged that bullet almost 20 years ago. So tell me, OP.
Why didn't you dodge?
Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.